a two-sport athlete at Edmonds Woodway, Molly earned 4 varsity letters in basketball and 2 in volleyball. A standout on the basketball court as a guard, she was impossible to stop as a scorer. She could beat opponents from the outside with her signature jump shot or beat them off the drive with one step. She earned all Wesco, all area, and all state honors at Edmonds Woodway. As a senior, she was named the Wesco 3A MVP and led the league in scoring with 21 point per game average. Molly is Edmonds Woodway's all-time leading scorer with 1,166 points. Molly was recruited by Chris Gobrick to play at the University of Washington, where she competed on the women's basketball team from 1995 to 1999. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Molly Hills into the Edmonds Woodway.
So what my sister didn't tell you guys is that my freshman year at Washington, she actually had to push me across the conditioning line, our first practice, and I ended up, I think, falling into the mat on the wall because I was continuing to make the team repeat. And unfortunately, there was also a time our freshman year where, can I say what happened? I went up for a rebound and I actually ended up somewhat knocking her front tooth out with my elbow. So. Sorry guys. Anyways, thank you Angie and the Hall of Fame committee for putting this on. I think it does say a lot about Edmonds Woodway and the school and your desire to keep the sports history alive and recognizing the people who have done stuff, and it's probably not an easy task with really bringing 2 schools together. So thank you for tonight. I feel super honored. I have to admit that I had a really fun time going through all the boxes in our garage and just digging for memorabilia, because it does feel like a long time ago, but it was a nice trip down memory lane. And I realized that back in the day, about 25 years ago, we had sky-high bangs, and our warm-ups were close to looking like MC Hammer in his pants, and I was reminding my teammate Mandy that we ran out too legit to quit. So that was about 25 years ago. But I'm super thankful. I wish I could have been here a couple years ago when Coach Evans was inducted, because he was such a steady, calm, and skilled coach. And I remember he was always showing up in his wool V-neck sweaters. He was an English teacher, and he had a Starbucks in his hand. And rarely did he yell at us, but he was super patient and was just one of those coaches that got me excited about basketball. I remember the league battles that we had, the title battles that we had against Snohomish High School. They were kind of our big rival back in the day. And of course, like, what you remember most is just all your time with teammates and the fun bus rides and the bonding that took place with the team. So I have a couple teammates here tonight. So Mandy and Alice were both on the team, and then I think Dick Baker is around here somewhere, and Jenny was our post player who I played AAU ball with too, and she ended up playing in college. And so 3 really special gals in my high school career. So the timing of the Hall of Fame is kind of an interesting one for me, because I currently have a high schooler, a sophomore, and Haley's over there, and she is a basketball player. And I would say at this point, as a sophomore, probably already has a better shot than me. And I've got Macy over there, who is an 8th grader, and she is a two-sport athlete who's doing soccer and basketball, and her competitiveness and her fire is already past where I was as an athlete. And then I got Titus, who is a third grader, and he's doing what I think all kids should still do, which is many sports, not specializing at this point. So he is an enforcer on whatever field he's on. And yeah, it's interesting because as I look back now at high school and being a mom now, I realize that there's so much effort that goes into being an athlete, and as I stand up here, I'm thinking, man, I should have my dad up here with me, my mom up here with me, my sister up here with me, coaches up here with me, my volleyball coach up here with me that put up with me, because it is really a team effort, and it's not, there's no I in team, and that's truly the truth. I almost wish I had that perspective when I was in high school, because I kind of look back and I think, gosh, there was a lot of selfish me attitude, and as a mom I realized that, man, it takes an Uber driver parent, and it takes a lot of meals that my mom did for me, and dad, I don't know if I should say this, but when we moved to Edmonds, we were strategically looking for schools within the Edmonds Woodway School District so that we could be under Coach Evans. But a lot of dedication with the parents too. So, as I continue my career to Washington, you know, like a lot of athletes, it's not all roses, and there's a lot of ups and downs in sports, and I think that's what makes the successes so sweet. And the failures hard. But there was a point where honestly I was ready to quit at Washington. I had a coach change, and about that same time I started to date my now husband, Brock, and I want to say thank you to him, because he really taught me how to fight and how to get through those last 2 years of college. And probably the award that I'm most proud of was an award that I was given at Washington, which was the most improved player. So I went from sitting on the bench to starting my junior year. So I thank him for that push that he gave me at that point. And thank you to the Hall of Fame committee again. And congratulations to all the other recipients tonight. And I just, coming in here tonight was just a reminder that Edmonds Woodway is a special high school, and it really feels like home. I'm thankful that I got to be a part of this 25 years ago. So, go Warriors.